Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices. However, I'd like to start with the Nasdaq today, as all the tech stocks have really been a bit of a catalyst for global markets in one way or another. Well, US markets, I should say, moving to the upside or supporting that. And we had been looking for a top. In terms of from wave 4 here. We may have wave 4 over here for this, but it doesn't really matter at this stage because we were counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and more importantly we were counting 5 waves up in this little move here. And some of the tech stocks that are reporting are not coming out that chirpy, so they've been falling, as Facebook and Twitter you probably know. And but the main point here is it has put a bit of a turn in here. Now I don't have evidence that we will be moving down, because we would be fighting not only this uptrend here, would be fighting, well, the main one and also this one here as well. But what we need to do is, because we're against the trend here, we need to confirm that we're actually will be moving down. And currently we only have 3 waves down, but I think that it's likely that we'll have 5 waves down. And if we get 5 waves down here, then we'll get a bounce back up, and then we'll have another 5 down, and so on. So it does appear that we've got a top. So it's going to put the European indices under pressure. Okay, so with this market here, we've either got it moving down to this wave 2 here, or we'll see it come down to wave 4 lower here. But either way, for the short term and this week, we will be looking at a turn, possibly with the first 5 waves down, just to give you a bit of an idea on that from the top here, just based on the tick chart here. We'll see where we are with that. Well, that's a bit slow. There we go. Well, it's not showing up there, so I'll just go to, well, I'll put it onto the hourly chart then. It was the S&P that I did intraday, but this is it here. So I think understanding this will give you a bit of an idea of the European markets, or where that pressure is coming from. So from the top here is wave 1 and 2, and as I mentioned, we've only got this as part. It could be just a corrective wave, but if it completes this other little move here, that's going to give us 5 waves down, and then we'll have a rally, and then it will move down again, probably swifter. So we'll be looking for our short. We're already short here, but we'll also look to build in short on the correction over here. So yeah, look, that's where some of the pressure's coming from. Of course, there's all sorts of things happening, but yeah, I just thought that that's important, that turn. So I wanted to bring that into the picture. So let's start with the DAX here. So with the DAX here, we've got 2 counts here, as you may know, looking for this wave 4 low here. We can have this up as wave 1 here, and an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then we go up for wave 1 and back for wave 2, and then move up. And in this case here, the bearish count, we have wave B over here, wave C here, wave D here, and then down for wave E here. So it's possible that we can get, we were looking for another little move up here, so we just need to have a little bit of a strategy in place, because if the US market's going to be pulled down, it doesn't necessarily mean that these are going to be pulled down early, but we do need to consider all the factors and have strategies for that. So in this case, we were looking for wave 1 up here or wave D up here, and we're looking for a turn where one wave short here. It may come in, it may not, so we need to be prepared for both events. But certainly that pressure to the downside here can be in play here now as well. So on this 4-hour chart for wave D here, we can have this completed as an A and a B and a C wave here, and we move down from this point. So we're lucky enough that we're actually working with this number here, 12,800. So we could say that if 800 became a retested resistance, that would be sort of on, they'd obviously be on the bearish side of that particular point there. But let's go in and drill in a little bit closer. I'm just going to go to the hourly chart here, because it will also have the positive count in it. Not that that sort of matters much. Did I do any work on the tick chart here? Let me just have a look Yes, I did. So, but let's just get the bigger picture here first. So, with this here, this is how we were counting it as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then looking all of this up here for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to the third wave, looking for the fourth wave, and then one more move up here to complete this this move here. But if this wave 4 here, or the market moves down lower here, and this gets trapped here at the 800, then we need to look at this in more of a, let's go to the tick chart here, we need to look at this in more of a bearish picture at this stage. So this picture is quite close to the count that we've got for the US market, slightly different, but very close. So if we get 5 waves down here, then we're going to be heading lower. Okay, that's my point here. So with this case here, it's clear that we've got wave 1 here. It's clear that we've got some type of correction in here, so we can label this wave 2. Nice strong third wave here. Then a fourth wave being a little bit more complicated, but this seems to be pretty complicated really compared for a normal wave 2. So we maybe just be finished here. But what we want to see here is that I can't draw on this side, but if I draw from here, we want to see one more move down into this space here. We want to see it take out this low. Not that it has to take out this low, but we do need to see 5 waves in this structure coming down through here. So I can't confirm that we're in a bearish move, but it's likely. So we need to gather the evidence, and the evidence would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Once we get wave 5 in, so I wouldn't bother trading or getting involved in any of this because it may be short. If wave 1's got, wave 3's got the extension in it, then wave 1 and wave 5 will be roughly the same length. But markets get skewed around large numbers, and 8 is a large number. So and once we've got that in there, then we can look for, if I took wave 4, 3 here and put this here, then that would be our target here. If that was going to be our target, then we'll take the top here and go down to our target here, and then that would leave us at the 61.8% mark over here for that particular move. So I'll just pop that little box in there. That's where wave C would come back to. That's where we can look to short this market in this box, and also below here as well. So we'll leave it on that note, but we'll just save that. So yeah, that's what we'll be looking for. To look for, if we get 5 here, then we need to look on the short side, so we can start shorting from this box. This move up through here should be quite simple. It should be an A and a B and a C wave, so it should actually be 5 waves, so a bit like this first one here. So an A wave here, then a B wave, a bit complex like this one here, and then 5 waves up again. So wave A and wave C should be roughly the same length with all of that as well. So but hopefully we'll be able to catch that in time. And also too, with this coming up through here, if I can just draw over here for a second, or maybe even over here. So market comes down, we get our A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. Worst comes to worst and you can't read it, just draw a line across there, and when that becomes the resistance here, then you've got your shorts trade set up there, and then short from there. So but I think we'll be, or maybe we're not back in time for that. But anyway, there's 2 points here. There's that ABC with a line under it for a short trade, and also once it's gone up here and then it's come back down and it's locked under the 12.8, you need to be short from that point there as well. So maybe I can just do that on the hourly chart here. So coming back to this one here, it's likely that we need to put this wave 5 in play here. So let's just draw this out here. So if we get 1 and 2, which we got 3, and we got 4 here, if we get 5 here, then we're going to look for an A and a B and a C here, and then we can short from this base, and we can also short from this base here as well, because if we have that 5 wave structure, then we're going to get another 5 from there. So We'll just put the box there green as well. You get the idea for that. Okay. So I'm just going to grab that and put that here as well as a possible top there. Might not be the case. Okay, so let's look at the AEX and over here. So for the daily chart here, as I mentioned before, it's possible that we've got wave 4 in here, and we possibly could count this as 1 and 2 here, nice strong third wave here, ABC for 4th, and then 5 waves up here for the 5th wave here. So we're still 1 wave short here as well for this. So it appears to me we've only got 3 waves up coming up through here. So yeah, we're still like 1 wave short there. I don't know if this is the count of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All I can do is stay within this here and try and understand this as we move here. But we do also understand that too, having the old highs here, there's going to be resistance showing up there, and also now because of the other markets, US markets in the very early stages of folding over, it's going to create a bit of pressure on here. And also with this as well, there is pressure on this too, because you can see that when markets have tops, they can have sharp turns and so on, but they can also get very tired towards the end and start creeping, and you're getting this creeping kind of rolling over kind of thing here. So we need to be really careful about this and have a closer look within this here as well. So on the hourly chart here, I'm still 1 wave short here. So even from the low here, I can count 5 waves up here, and then we come back here. And then to me, this is pretty clear for 5 waves here in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So we're still looking for the 4th wave and the 5th wave here in this case, which is different from the other markets. But I've done a little bit of work going back over this here and looked at the cash market, and it's fine to have this as the ABC here for this up for 1, back for 2 here, then 1 and 2 here, 5 waves here for wave 3, wave 4 here, wave 5 for the 3rd wave here. And even though we haven't made a new high here, we can still get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here as a truncated 5th wave. This move down here appears to be 5 waves. Maybe I could count this as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave from here, and this 5 waves. But I think the important thing here is that if we take out this low here once it's finished, after the bounce here, then we need to be on the short side from there. So let me just, once that's finished, I'll just put that there. So really what we want to see is, because the other European markets got further to go down, it'll probably drag this one down. So if it moves down further, we want the low there. We want the low before we can bring that in there. But let's just have a quick look at that. The cash market hasn't actually sort of rolled over yet. But this one here, this is the top here. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we're going to see some sort of support come in here at 572, and we'll probably see an A and a B and a C back up into the 575, and then a move down from here. So this is starting a bit late here. There's overlapping wave structures here. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but let's give it a bit more of a session. But this is struggling to move up now. We have to admit that. And seeing the first little 5 waves down here that are clear and not overlapping, then it gives us that downside look. The Ftse coming on here. Yeah, so this one here. I think that we're on the right track here. We've had this for a while here, but I've only got 3 waves here, which is very unusual for a wave 1 and 2. So that's probably wrong. But this is certainly an A and a B and a C here. And then we looked at this being corrective to this high here, and it's possible that this could move in both directions. So let's just take a closer look in here, but. Even though I've got this as, I've got it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So it's the ugliest 5 waves I've seen, but it's there. And this does represent really a corrective move here because of the overlapping wave structures. That means that the lows and the highs here have been overlapping, but in a way it still could be bullish because it hasn't made any sort of for instance, all the lows here have been high. They haven't been breached in this little move here yet. But if this one here is breached, then we need to be on the short side at that point. So we also looked at being long, well, above here, or always waiting for the first high to come in. So we do have this high here now, and we also need to look at this here. I'm not sure if I've done anything on the 1 hour or the tick. Okay, I have. So in this case here, it does appear that, like the other markets, we do have a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. So allow this to finish. It might drop further, and then the ABC here, and we'll put a line under the low, wherever that may be, and the second low, and then we can look to short it here. But also, this has really been our key number here, and we've been looking at being, while this market is being supported here, and we looked at this really here, I think it was on the 2 hour chart, just to put it really clear here, it was this level here that we'd been sort of working with as the balance point here. So don't need any of this really. So in this instance here, we've still got the same game going on really. So above here, and in this case now, because of what's happening around the globe, we need to look on the short side here as well now. If this becomes the retested resistance, then we need to be on this side of it, as simple as that. And if that was going to be the case, because that's got 5 waves in it there, it's likely to get a 3-wave move here and then down from here. So it does appear that we need to look for the short side on these now. I'll just have a look at this on the tick chart here, just to confirm that. I don't know why that's slow today. I've got a pretty fast computer, I have to say. So, yeah, I mean, this is starting. Oh no, we've got this high. I mean, I was looking from here and going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That must be part of it here. I don't know, but we've certainly got this strong 3rd wave and a 4th wave here. So let's just give it some time here to work out, but certainly presenting a bearish pattern here. Let's move over to the MIB, and the MIB's a little bit the same as the FTSE when we look at it on the sort of 4 hour chart. What we've been trying to do is we've been trying to say, well, if the 22,000 becomes a tested support, or takes one of this first high out here, or this second high out here, we've gotten down to here, or we can gain support on here, then we'll look at the long side. Because it's under the 22,000, if that becomes the retested resistance, then we need to look on the short side here. So we really need to be short below here. And if it's going to fail at the 22 here, then yes, of course, the first target will be the 21 area here. But normally what I find is that this is all of group 1 here, so 1, 2, and 3. And if the 2 here becomes the retested resistance here, and then it will be pulled down to this number. So if this low gets taken out, for instance, this will move down to here, and we'll certainly get a strong bounce off here, maybe even back to the 500 to test supply, but it will eventually move down further through here and also get a bounce off here and move lower from that point. And then we would have to look at this here being this being wave 1 here, wave 2 here, down for 3 down here, which will be down further into here, and then 4 and 5 to have this wave 4 sitting down here. Because I never knew if this was just, we didn't make a new low here, but we had 5 waves, and if we got support on here, then we will go with that on the long side. So I think we've done all the right things, but we've also been aware that this for this wave C or 4 here, this could just be wave 1 and wave 2 here, and then down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, A, B, C, back for 2, and then we move lower. So we need a strategy for both sides here. We know that, and we can't fall asleep because we're in a correction here. That's the biggest mistake of all. We've navigated reasonably well up to this point, but let's just go into the hourly chart and see if we can get a bit more of an idea of things. I know it looks a little bit messy in here. But last time we spoke, we were looking for a move up into this space here. We've got our little 5 waves up here of 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I'm not worrying about that deep spike here, but wave A and B and C for 4 here and up for 5 here. So we're looking for an A and a B and a C. So we should still be on the bullish side here, but we also have to acknowledge that there's a bear in the air, so to speak, with the US market. So we need to, this low here that we could go short on, when we could go short there, but also too that, if the market came down to these lows here, it's going to bounce back up halfway as well, or 40% or something. So but we can try to move in there a little bit earlier. I'll leave that there as a reference point, but we need to copy that. So this is the 61.8% mark here. So we could look to say ourselves at the 2165, if that became a retested resistance, we could move in at that point as well. But also what we would need to do is figure out what we've actually got here as well. We know that we got 5 waves here, so on the bullish side we'd get an A and a B and a C back into the 50-60% mark here anyway, and then we could move up from here, but this is the junction now that we're going to get close to, because from here we could also just simply move further down from here. So this is going to be the tricky little bit. I just want to have a look at this here on the tick chart just to see how that looks, to see if I can see if it's actually corrective or impulsive. Okay, so yeah, this little bit's not telling me too much here at all. It doesn't help me confirm it being corrective or impulsive as such. We're on the 100 ticks here, so we can go over a few things. On the bullish count, we've got this as wave C here, and wave 1 here, and wave 2 here, and then looking for wave 1 and back for wave 2 here. This is good here, because this 21,720 is the 72 within group 2, so 65, 72 and 80 here. That's really important here, so as support here. So we were looking to go long, short here, short here, but we could also go short on the I can't get that over there any further, but we can go, if that becomes the retested resistance here, we can go short from there. And the bearish count would be, instead of having this as wave 1 and 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 here, this would simply be down for wave 1 here, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, and then moving down from that point. So yeah, but we can't go short until we've got that number there, which is the balance line for all of this as well. We need that very clearly as the retested resistance, that 21,720 there. That's the balance line of that. Unless we get a very clear 5-wave structure down from the top here and then a bounce, then we could also look to get it short to short it higher here. But yeah, we want to see group 2 here as the resistance before shorting, and then that would enable us to capture the trend. We need to be on the long side, so we need to be long above this, and we need to be short below this. It's pretty much that simple. All right, thank you for tuning in, much appreciated. Cheers.